Exactly a week ago, we got our first look at Stranger Things Season 5. Even though it was like 12 1-second frames, we got a lot of information on that little teaser trailer, whatever you want to call it, the date announcement video. And there was one particular scene that, took over the internet, and that was, of course, Will Byers screaming "run" as loud as he can. Seems like he was possessed, whatever. Today, we're going to be discussing the possibilities of what Will Byers was going through when he was screaming "run." And I got a few different opinions and options, of what could have been happening. And we're just going to discuss it, break it down. And one of these is going to be right. One of these is going to be correct. We're going to find out November 26th or Christmas or New Year's Eve, whenever the shot happens. But either way, before we get into the video, guys, be sure to drop like, subscribe, turn on notifications, join my Discord down below where we talk Stranger Things every single day. And I never do a like goal, but let's go for 300 likes on this video. That'd be much appreciated. Now, without further ado, let's get right into this video. Okay, immediately when I saw this clip, the first thing that popped in my mind, and I'm pretty sure the first thing that popped in everyone's mind that has watched Stranger Things or that, has dove deep into the show or watched it more than once, is that whenever Will Byers was screaming "run" and they made it the last clip of the date announcement, clearly emphasizing it, Stranger Things has tweeted it, they put it on their Instagram page, I'm pretty sure everyone, including myself, immediately thought that Will Byers just got possessed, just like he was in season 2. Now that's option number one, no doubt about it. Like, that is the most likely scenario, I would say. And there's a few reasons why this is likely. Number one, he's clearly like terrified when he's screaming "run," but also he's kind of like warning his friends and family, like, run because I'm getting possessed. That would be the idea, right? Because he knows what it's like to get possessed, because in season 2 he got possessed. So he probably felt that same here, or he could have felt that same feeling and just screamed "run," like, hey, Vecna's here, I'm getting possessed, you guys need to run. So possessed is definitely option number one. Definitely, probably, it might be the correct choice, but there's also a close second. There's a close second option that's sort of like getting possessed, but then again, not really. It is that whenever Will Byers has sensed Vecna in season 3 and season 4, like on his neck, he feels the chills or whatever. Every single time he's felt it, he's gotten really scared. And he said, you can tell that he gets really worried when Vecna is close or is still alive or is warning him that he's still alive, whatever. Like in season 4, the ending shot, when he feels it, he's like, he's still here. Like, Vecna is here and he wants to fight this, that, and the other. So obviously the sensing of Vecna bothers him. So my second option, and I think a really realistic option that could be, close number 2 to possessed, is that Will got this overwhelming sensation of Vecna in his presence, meaning like Vecna was there with the military. That's why the guards were dead in one of the shots. I can put that up on the screen. If you look in the background, the guards are dead while like Joyce is holding Will, and Will's clearly like out of breath or out of it, probably after he screamed "run." And the reason he screamed "run" is because he got that feeling on his neck, but it was so strong that he just he couldn't do anything besides warn everybody, get out of there, Vecna is here. And that would make a lot of sense because, like I said, it's bothered him every single time he's sensed Vecna. But if Vecna was there in his presence, like within 50 feet or whatever, just in the vicinity, then the sensation is going to be that much stronger, right? It would make sense that it would bother Will to the point of vigorously shaking, singing like he's about to die, all this stuff, and that also explains, if he got possessed and like screamed and ran out of energy or whatever, why this could be Joyce tending to Will on the ground. I'll put up the picture, and then Joyce holding Will when Finn's like, the iconic shot of like Finn in his Steve Harrington era holding back the kids looking at something. So yeah, I definitely think the second option and the first option are the most likely. He's either getting possessed or he's getting an overwhelming sensation of Vecna. Now obviously there's other options, we're going to dive into them, but these options are going to be a little bit more far-fetched, but then again could make it a little bit more exciting as well. Okay, I'm going to talk about the third and fourth option like together because they're both extremely far-fetched, and I really don't think the third option is even possible because of what happened when Joyce was like holding up Will. I really do think that scene of Joyce holding up Will is after he screamed "run," but we don't know that for sure. So we're going to talk about these options. Option number 3, which is less likely than number 4. These aren't in particular order. I guess they are, but not really. I just have them listed down of like my talking points. So dying is number 3. I don't think he's dying, okay? But people have said it, like, is Will dying right here? Is Vecna, like, taking over his body and killing Will and then using his body as a puppet, or just killing Will in general because he failed to use Will as a puppet in season 2? Like, is that what's happening? Like, I don't know. Like I said, like, Will being on the ground could be after, like, Vecna hit him or something. It doesn't have to necessarily be after Will screamed run. Like, we don't know that. Is he dying? I doubt it, but that has to be, we have to talk about it because we don't know, obviously. And what he looked like, it looked like something was about to happen, and we don't know what that something was. And then, like I said, I was going to talk about number 4 right with it because it's also far-fetched. Will getting powers. Now, this could go several different directions if he actually got powers in this scenario. Number 1, I keep referencing Joyce holding up Will because I feel like that's after the scream. Like I said, he could still have powers even if that's him after he screamed run, like, and Joyce holding him up, because we don't know what happens when he screams run. Like, we don't know if he just falls over and faints. We don't know if Vecna does something to him. We don't know anything, okay? He could be possessed after that, and that's why he's, like, out of breath or whatever. He's out of sorts. He doesn't really know where he's at. Or, you know, Vecna could have done something that the supernatural experience could have done something to him to where he gained supernatural powers, and he's just like, he fainted and he's out of it or whatever, and it could be the same scenario. Now, I don't think he's just getting powers in this scenario. I think if he has powers, he already had them, like, before season 5. So I don't think that's the case, but let's be honest, it'd be pretty freaking cool if that was the case. Now, number 5 is about the potential possibility of Will seeing something when he was screaming run. Like, maybe he was looking at something like, run. Like, maybe he was having that flashback of him being in the upside down like he used to have in season 2, where he sees the upside down, then sees the real world, sees the upside down, sees the real world in one of his, like, episodes, sort of. Like, what if, since Vecna was so close, or potentially so close, Will got, like, not possessed, but he just got in that trance again where he saw the upside down in the scenario where he's at, and he sees the 3-headed dragon, or he sees the mind flayer, and that's why he screams run. Like I said, if he got possessed, if he got powers, or if he got that overwhelming sensation of Vecna, no matter what, he's experienced it before. Not the powers part, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he's experienced this type of feeling before. So if he did see something and he knows he's still, like, in it enough to know that his family's around him, his friends are around him, he can still scream run while looking at the 3-headed dragon in the mind flayer in his trance, you know? So I feel like that could be something. And then that also goes to number 7, which is a warning of an attack. Like, if he sees something, or, you know, he feels something that's really close to him, that's tied with Vecna, correlated with Vecna, or is Vecna, or the mind flayer, 3-headed dragon, whatever, that could just be a warning. I mean, obviously it is a warning. What am I talking about? Like, obviously it's a warning, but, like, you know what I'm saying? It could be like an attack that's happening right then and there, you know? I guess it doesn't have to be a warning, because he could just be, like, terrified out of his mind and not knowing what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, could be a warning / seeing something like the mind flayer or the 3-headed dragon. Another thing I had written down was it could be flashback trauma. I don't really think in that scenario it would be flashback trauma, so I don't think that's really a possibility, honestly. Vecna's vision kind of goes with, like, him seeing the mind flayer or the 3-headed dragon, or, like, Vecna gets in his mind because he obviously has a connection with Vecna, and Vecna shows him his army and shows them, like, you know, on their way. He could be screaming run because of that. That would be really cool. Channeling the upside down is something that I have written down. That would just be, you know, him showing his powers. Absolutely, like, unreal. Like, what if Vecna's attacking him and he says run because he finally can use his powers or something? That's way too far-fetched, but we need to throw this stuff out there. We need to throw stuff at a wall just in case it's right, and then if it's right, everyone can come back to this video in a year and be like, oh, holy shit, Relay predicted it. So one of these 10 things is gonna be right. And the last thing I have written down is that it's a self-sacrifice. You know, he, like, puts himself in the middle there, screams run because he knows that Vecna wants him, no one else, and he's sacrificing himself in that moment, which is a possibility. Definitely a possibility. It's not a possibility if Joyce holding him up in that shot is after the run, because he would be alive, he'd be standing up. But we don't know if that's the case. So it's a possibility that he does sacrifice himself in that shot. And that would be, I feel like that would be something the Duffers would put in the date announcement video and like have it as that scene. And then we watch it, we're like, holy shit, this is where Will dies. No way. We saw that back in May and that's where he dies. Like, that's insane. You know, we're going to have that moment no matter which one of these 10 finds out, or no matter which one of these 10 options it is. But we're going to have that moment when we watch it. We're going to be like, oh my God, it was that. Holy crap. I did not see that coming. So let's go through all the options again. I'm just going to read them off. Possessed, potentially possessed, overwhelming sensation of Vecna, dying, getting powers in that scenario, seeing the mind flayer or the three-headed dragon, flashback trauma, warning of an attack, which kind of goes with like all of them, I guess. Vecna's visions, or a Vecna vision, where Vecna's making him see his army, or you know, whatever, or maybe he Vecna makes Will see his family like dying. Self-sacrifice, Will sacrifice himself, or channeling up the upside down. So it's gonna be one of those. I would have to assume if I'm wrong and none of those are correct, then bravo the Duffers. But I think I nailed it with one of those. So we're gonna find out. But I really wanted to make this video diving into what that clip means, because I don't think you guys realize, like, they've posted that everywhere. The clips already went viral. They did that for a reason. They made it the last shot for a reason. They showed it for a reason. Like, they didn't have to show that. We all knew that the scene happened because we saw the leaked audio in April 2024. They showed us the scene in the first possible look of season 5. So it means something. And it was the last scene. It was the longest frame that we got, everything. So it means something, and it means something big. And I feel like it was also like a sign like, hey, his character is going to take a step up this season, and you guys better be ready. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about all the possibilities that I talked about, and let me know, like, please let me know what videos you want me to make about season 5, because I've talked about everything like 3 different times over the past year, 2 years, whatever. So I don't know what you guys are interested in, what you're most interested in. So whatever you're interested in, whether it's a theory, a topic, a question, whatever, type it in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see in future videos. I will make the videos. So just give me some ideas. I do appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to drop like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like I said, join my Discord where we talk Stranger Things every single day. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.